Greetings, vinyl community. How you doing? It's been a while, I guess, in relative terms to my videos. First of all, I want to say thank you to those who reached out and asked me if I was doing okay, and told me that they missed my regular weekly update. It's been I don't think it's been that much longer than a week, but as I always explain to them, it's summer. My son's home all the time. It's beautiful. In fact, I think, well, if you were to believe the weatherman, which you just don't do that. That's, first of all, cheers, everyone. It's going to get up to 36 above here tomorrow, and I'm not really looking forward to it. I already have farmer tan. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that farmer tan, as we call it in Alberta. Look at that. Next, I'll be moving to a trailer park. Anyways, no offense if you live in a trailer park. It's just a convenient term of reference for someone who might have that. Anyways, man, can I get off topic or what? Because it's been like, what, a week or two? It's more than a week, a couple weeks since my last video. There's a lot to go through. There's a lot to talk about. This might be a longer video. But you know what? When you get sick of this face, take a break, come back, watch the rest. This is all really good stuff. Since I saw you last, I added a new turntable. I added a really neat piece of stereo equipment, which I'll do a separate video for. What else? I got a stack like that. I don't know how big the frame is. Like that, of vinyl. I'm not going to show them all to you. I was talking to Matt Hayes. Well, not talking, but on Facebook. I don't really show a lot of my singles. I kind of weed those out just to kind of, not to make my videos any longer than they are now. Did I mention this will be a long video? It's been a while since I had a long one. So I weed out the singles just to kind of compact everything. So believe it or not, there's a lot more that I get that I don't show you, which is maybe a hint and a half that I have an illness. Anyways, and sometimes I buy lots of, like, you know, regional stuff that really be only of interest to people in Edmonton. So really, if you're in Oklahoma or Switzerland, you wouldn't really care about that stuff. So I weed that stuff out. But you know what? Let me know. If you care to see everything, and I can make more videos, let me know. I don't mind showing you that stuff. Like I said, I have a, because I DJ, I still have a lot of, I think I have about 2,000 12-inch singles, and I still buy those to my collection for the remixes. And anyways, how did I get on that topic? Anyways, thank you to all the new subscribers. I had someone, and I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. See, here's the thing. I have a block of time right now. My son, he's going to be 16, and of course, he's passed out in bed at 3 in the afternoon, like teenagers do. So I have a block of time right now. So I haven't rehearsed anything. I haven't thought about a lot of stuff that I'm going to show you. And how I got on that topic, I have no idea either. Anyways, I got one new album to show you. One new album I got from Amazon, and the rest are all, you know what I get, you know where I get these things. So let's get right to this. I got, I wish I knew where I was going with that before I sidetracked onto my son, who's passed out. We're 3:45 into this video. Please don't tell me how long it took me to get to my first album. That's what it is. Oh yeah, did I say I got a new video game console? Or maybe I'll make a video for that. I pick up vintage video game consoles when I see them at thrift stores. And I'm looking right over here, and I have got a collection that you wouldn't believe. But, see, now I'm just being a dick by dragging this video out. Only new album I got in a long, long time is Fate's Warning, Perfect Symmetry. This was an album I picked up on cassette when I was a kid. I used to go to pawn shops in my city, downtown Edmonton, because cassettes were cheap back in the 80s, used ones anyways, and that's how I would discover a lot of new music. And this is one of those blind buys I did at the time with their previous album, No Exit. And I just fell in love with Fate's Warning. It's kind of, a lot of you might call it math metal. I hate the term prog metal. It's, anyways. But it is that. It's kind of, it's math metal. It's very technical. And this is a, what is this? Limited to 500 worldwide of, I won't bother taking the vinyl, but it's limited of blue-gray vinyl. Not as good as their last album before this one, No Exit, but still, it's a damn good listen, and I got it for, like I always say, because I'm a cheap bastard. I picked it up for relatively next to nothing from Amazon clearance. Anyways, that's a welcome addition to my collection. Fate's Warning, Perfect Symmetry. All right, some of these, like I said, I haven't had time to put in bags yet, so you saw it's the Naked Truth. I don't know, like I said, I don't know where I was going with that either. But anyways, so excuse me for not having these properly presented for you all. Buckingham Nicks. This is the Canadian gatefold version. A lot of these, if you follow me on Facebook, on the YouTube vinyl community, you'll have seen these. I don't post these on my personal Facebook page because why would I want my friends to know about my mental illness, about vinyl? Gatefold. I have an original poly door pressing that I don't think is a gatefold. I think this is a Canadian, by the way. It was the first time it was released in Canada. And I don't know where I was going with that either. Oh, I was going to tell you this. I think I showed this on another video. I think this is my 5th copy of this album. But whenever I see one and the vinyl's nice, I always can find new homes for them, and it's one of my favorite albums. So I have no problem picking these up for $2 or whatever. Anyways, Buckingham Nicks. By the way, I have a new phone, hence a new camera where I film these things, and it's on like super high quality mode. Does my ugly mug look even more mugglier? See, with my eyesight, I can't really see, but I hope the video looks better. It's a new phone. It's about time I got rid of my 20-year-old cell phone, my brick phone. Easy Beats, Falling Off the Edge of the World. This is what is this? Is this a U.S. pressing? Might be. Oh yeah, it's U.S. pressing on United Artists, New York. Easy Beats, one of Australia's, maybe Australia's preeminent 60s pop band. There's a really good documentary on the Easy Beats on YouTube if you're so inclined. But of course, this features George Young, brother of Malcolm and Angus, and I think George went on to produce some AC/DC stuff, who passed away not that long ago with Malcolm. Anyways, Easy Beats, Falling Off the Edge of the World. I can't remember if this was their last album or not. This was, there was a, what was it, Vigil was released for Record Store Day a couple years ago, and that was the cover they used for that reissue. But it's actually the original back cover for Falling Off the Edge of the World by the Easy Beats. Mighty fine band if you're into stuff like, you know, I hate to say the Beatles, but they were kind of Australia's Beatles. What's next? Psych. This is going to be everything all rolled into one. It's every genre. Really, really rare album. I mean, and this is a case in point where rare does apply to this. It's a band called ACT, A-C-T, and it's Supernatural Fairy Tale. I don't know about this pressing, but some pressings go for about $250 Canadian, which is about $5 American. But anyways, this is an original Island Records Black Label. By the way, this is, if you're looking for a really great Psych album, and I'm not stretching the word Psych, this really does apply to this album. Look at that cover. Tell me that's not psychedelic. Axe made one album. They were one and done, and then they morphed into Spooky Tooth. And then the guitar player from that band went on to be in Mott the Hoople, who replaced Mick Ralphs, who went on to form Bad Company. Stuff you didn't really need to know. But there you go. So that's the condensed version of what ACT was. They kind of morphed into Spooky Tooth after this album. But anyways, that was like this and a couple other albums I'll show you. These weren't thrift store finds. I bought these from a local gentleman. So in the interest of transparency, there you go. ACT, Supernatural Fairy Tales. But they were really affordable. Another one from that gentleman, the Hombres, Let It Out, Let It All Hang Out, garage rock, really good. I was really happy. This gentleman sold me a mitt full of records, and he gave me a ton to pick from, and I picked what I thought would be the most interesting ones. Hadn't heard it, blind buy. And this is like from what, I know it's from the 60s. Anyways, it's the original Verve Forecast. Whenever I see Verve Forecast, that's a hint and a half for me to pick it up, because Verve Forecast put out some just tremendous stuff in the 60s. The Hombres let it all hang out. Really great garage rock. A lot of people, when I showed this album, really flipped out that I found this one, but this is like an immaculate original pressing from 1964 of the Nashville Teens, Tobacco Road. Beat pop, beat rock, whatever you want to call it, that 60s thing, but really kind of a cut above. They had a hit single with the title track, Tobacco Road. But just an amazing condition, London Records mono pressing. Like I said, that gentleman had a lot of great stuff. And like I said, a lot of stuff I bought from him, I'm not showing you today, I'll save for another video, but it was with the prices being what they were, it really afforded me a chance to buy some stuff I had not really heard of before. The Nashville Teens and the Hombres being one of them. Mother's Finest. I think we're back to the thrift store finds. Mother's Finest, Mother Factor. If you know Mother's Finest, really good soul, funk, R&B band. They have one other album that you always see posted on vinyl communities. This one I hadn't seen before. It's a punch-out promo copy on Epic Records. 1970, late 70s anyways, Mother's Finest. Trying to be brief. If you saw the records, I have to show you. I'm going to have to cut this short at some point, because there's did I say it's about that much? It's about that much. I've been looking for a good copy of this one for a long time, and when I show it to you, it's going to look unspectacular. But I'll tell you why it's special. It has a lot of really good bands on it, but it's an MCA Records compilation from 1971, and it's called the MCA Sound Conspiracy. The reason why I've been looking for a really good copy of this album, it's Kiss related, is this band right here, Chelsea. Right here, you see Chelsea? Chelsea was the first band of one Peter Criss, who went on to be in Kiss. And finding original stuff with Chelsea on vinyl is very rare, this being the most common way to hear a Chelsea song. I see this every now and again, but it's always in ratty condition, but I found a really, really nice copy for $1. Plus there's Jeremiah's on it, and Fanny Adams, and what else is on this one? Wishbone Ash. Anyways, you can always look up the track listing. You don't need me to tell you. MCA Sound Conspiracy, just an oddity for my Kiss collection, featuring one Peter Criss and his band Chelsea. You can see Chelsea there. Anyways. You know what? I've never bought a Tom Jones album. Don't click off yet. He's a cool guy. The Atomic Tom Jones, an original, what is this? Oh, no, I'm brain farting. It's an original pressing on Parrot Records anyways, in mono. But I've never seen this album in the wild, aka thrift stores. But what was cool about this, it's super nice condition. It's in the original nice textured sleeve. Is that this is let's see if it has on this side, so I don't have to flip it over. I don't have to flip it over. It's a demo promo copy. The promo sticker on it there. So it's a promo copy of the Atomic Tom Jones. I got time for Tom. He's a cool guy. I heard he's not doing well these days. So I'd never like to hear that. But anyways, Tom Jones, the Atomic Tom Jones. British Lions. British Lions, really quickly, this kind of ties into that ACT album. Supernatural Fairy Tales, is that this has a Mott the Hoople tie-in. And you guys know I've been on a Mott the Hoople kick for the last 6-7 months. British Lions is what became of Mott the Hoople. Ian Hunter left, which is kind of debatable whether they were any good after that. Then they became, the rest of the members became Mott. They dropped the Hoople. And then they morphed into the British Lions. And that was that. That's what this album was. Really good album. I have to say, it's probably, I think it's better than the Mott albums that came out, but that's, you know what they say, opinions are like something. Julie London. See, here's the thing, I find Julie London albums every now and again, And I don't know why they're worth so much money. I really don't. I see people posting them on vinyl communities like they were posting the Butcher Sleeve Beatles covers with such reverence. I don't get it myself, but I don't. So I just pick them up. This one's in the shrink. This one is Feeling Good with the Gerald Wilson Big Band. And this is one of those things I'll probably be passing along. There you go, to someone else. But it's like in such nice condition in the shrink. Like I said, I know there's a lot of Julie London fans out there. So pick them up, you know, pass along, get something else I do want, like another trip to London. Some metal albums I found. Rough Cut Wants You. And I found, actually, you know what, I'll just combine this and I got Rough Cut, sorry, I'm not sure if I said that, Wants You, and Rough Cut's first album, if I can contort myself. I believe these are the first two Rough Cut albums I found thrift stores. Rough Cut get a really bad reputation. Oh, they have a really kind of, well, it's not a bad reputation. A lot of people love this album, and a lot of people equally hate this album. I kind of like this album. It's cheesy hair metal 80s, but I remember on MTV back in the day they used to play Double Trouble. I thought it was kind of a cool song with Paul Shortino on vocals. But two Rough Cut albums. Crocus. I remember. I picked this up at the thrift store because it was a thrift store. It's not one of the greatest Crocus albums, but I remember I got this from the Columbia Record Club. I'm dating myself. Remember those record clubs that you would order all these cassettes and never pay for because they didn't care. But back in the day, I used to order a lot of tapes from the Columbia Record Club, Music and Tape Club. This being one of them. Heart Attack, Blind. You know, obviously you just picked your tapes on a picture of a spine. See, you guys, if you're older, you know what I'm talking about. And I picked this one, and it's not that great of an album, but so I just picked this up because it's just memories of those days of Columbia Records and tape clubs. And it's a decent album for its time. It's not the greatest Crocus album. And Udo, Animal House. Udo, I'm not sure, but I think this might have been his first solo album. I could be wrong on that one. It's an early solo album from '87 from Udo. Udo, being the former lead singer of Accept, he left Accept not too long after, well, before this album, anyways. I have not even had time to listen to this album yet. I do like Accept. I think Udo is a fine singer, but that was a interesting thrift store find, to say the least. Udo. Ex of the band Accept. If you don't know Accept, Balls to the Walls. I think that's the easiest point of reference for you all. Billy Cobham, Spectrum. This is my third copy of this album, and this is by far, it's one of those moments where, you know, a nerd at a thrift store would have a little bit of heart palpitations because it's such a good album. And now, this is my once and for all copy. It is clean, clean, clean. Features the guitar work of one Tommy Bolin, who improvised all his guitar work on his album. I think I talked about this album before. Tommy Bolin, who went on to be in Deep Purple and James Gang and have his own solo albums. But Tommy Bolin plays on his album. Billy Cobham is a jazz drummer, but this is really a whacked out album. I can't recommend this album more. It's just, listen to the track Quadrant 4 if you want to know what this album's all about. Go on YouTube. Don't pause my video and go watch Quadrant 4. When you're done this video, go watch Quadrant 4, and that kind of gives you an idea of the avant-garde brilliance of this album. Just amazing. Can't say enough good things about Billy Cobham's Spectrum. I'm not sure where to cut this off here. Chet Baker. Chet is back. This is, I think this was only released in France, where he was super uber popular. Yeah, so this is a pressing from France. Chet Baker, I'll just pick up blindly regardless. Really nice copy on RCA. One of those albums I have not heard yet. I did sample it online, oddly enough. Just kind of get a vibe for what it is. But Chet Baker for $2. Yay, good for me. Anyways, really happy with that find. I had a lot of jazz finds that I've kind of parked for a later video. That being one of them. Roy Buchanan, Livestock. Roy Buchanan, really great bluesy rock. His albums are quite in demand, as I found out. But this is recorded live, 1974 in New York City. Roy Buchanan. I won't spend a lot of time on that because I don't know how many people of you know Roy Buchanan. Some standard stuff. Blues Brothers. Good Trader album. Not really much more to say about that one. One of the greatest movies ever. Heaven 17, The Luxury Gap. In fact, my wife found this one for me at the thrift store. Someone had taken it and hid it in a different section. She found it for me, and I realized I didn't have this one. This is an original UK pressing. I always like me some Heaven 17. Heaven 17 were an offshoot of the Human League. This guy and this guy were in the original Human League. They left the Human League and formed Heaven 17. And of course, then Human League went on to be uber popular, famous. Boston. I don't know what's more to say about this album. I never actually had a really good pressing of this album. I've had 1,000 Don't Look Backs and 1,000 Stage 3s come in and out of my hands, but I've never actually had a really good copy of this album. Now I do. Dwight Yoakam. I have a feeling that I've showed this album before, not this particular one, but I think this might be my second copy of this one. It's Buenas Noches from a Lonely Room. I love me some Dwight Yoakam. It's one of those artists that I found out from owning record stores and running record stores. I had a lot of staff who were into roots and country, and who would turn me on to Dwight Yoakam and things like the Jayhawks and Wilco and a lot of bands like that. Country bands, country sounding bands that were had that little. They were a little bit different, and I always thought Dwight Yoakam was a little bit different. Anyways, Buenas Noches from a Lonely Place. What do we got for time? I don't know, how long do you guys want to go for? Josie Cotton. Josie Cotton, well known for her appearance in the movie Valley Girl. One of my personal favorite albums or movies of all time. Valley Girl. For an 80s movie, that's the start of that whole 80s genre. If you had not seen Valley Girl, come on. Anyways, she's best known for her song Johnny Are You Queer. This one's called From the Hip, and this was her, I believe, her second album. I don't show you a lot of 80s albums, but I buy them. Dave Edmunds, Getting It. Continuing on with our thrift store find. This is on Swan Song Records, which was Led Zeppelin's label. This was 1977. This one has I Knew the Bride, so that's kind of why I got it. I like Dave Edmunds just fine. I like the Rock Pile album, which I might have to show you here. But Dave Edmunds, just to have that album, why not? Let me skip through. Yeah, I got more Dave Edmunds stuff here. Dave Edmunds Rock Pile. This is an odd one. This is a pressing from Holland, believe it or not. On EMI Holland. There you go. Dave Edmunds. This is what, 1970. I want to say 72. Found a bunch of Dave Edmunds stuff. My son's up. He's gonna wreck my video. You watch. He'll call down for me. You wait. He'll hear my voice and he'll think we're partying or something. Rock Pile, Seconds of Pleasure. We've seen this album 1,000 times. Tracks on Wax, Dave Edmunds. What is this? 1978. Once again, Dave Edmunds album I haven't heard before. Now my dogs are here. Everyone's bum rushing the video. Hey Shelby. Shelby's over there. And Dave Edmunds, Repeat When Necessary. I'm not sure why I bought these Dave Edmunds albums. Now I think of it was all part of a thrift store find. I just grabbed the whole pile of them. You know what? We'll get to 3 more. Sniffing the Tears, Fickle Heart. Of course, this one has driver's seat on it. ELO, Greatest Hits. I really don't have a lot of ELO to be honest with you. This one will do in a pinch. ELO, Greatest Hits. I'm trying not to spend a lot of time on pretty bog standard stuff. Roxy Music, Flesh and Blood. What's this? Original Adco Records pressing? Yep, with the original inner. And you know what? We're going to end on this one. And I probably have an equal amount left to show you. I haven't even shown you all this other stuff here. I had this stuff parked over here to show you, and this is all going to come back around to Moth the Hoople. It's fate. Ian Hunter, You're Never Alone with Schizophrenic. I've had this album a few times, and This one has Cleveland Rocks on it, which is his big track, solo track. Anyways, and Once Bitten, Twice Shy is another track he's well known for. That's not on this album. No, it's not. Anyways, who is on? You know, just for reference sake, who is on this album? Mick Ronson. There you go. Right there alone, reason to have this album. Mick Ronson's on it, of the Spider of Mars. Spider from Mars. There you go. I feel like I'm a little bit out of practice making videos. I rambled a lot. Anyways, we're going to wrap that up. I have a lot more to show you, and I mean a lot more to show you. We're going to end this right here. I want to say thank you to everyone who's, as always, thank you to everyone who's watching. Thank you to the new subscribers who've reached out and told me they're a new subscriber, and they really like the videos. I really appreciate that. And you know what? It's a beautiful summer here where I live, which is a rare thing. So you have to excuse me if I kind of take a little bit more time to get my videos done, but it's beautiful. Doesn't happen here often. Anyways, we're going to end it right there. Thank you, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you next time. This has been David Michael, a.k.a. Nazz Nomad. One last time. Cheers, everyone. Hope you all have a great rest of the week and great rest of the summer. I've had an amazing summer, so take care, everyone.